Hey guys, welcome to the first live stream of the Brantford Realty Group. In today's live stream, we're going to be talking about rent-to-own properties. Now, not a lot of people understand exactly what rent-to-own homes entail and what the process is, and why you might even want to consider this option when looking for your home. So, we are joined today by Alfonso Salemi. He's the co-founder and vice president of JAAG Properties out in London. They just won the Chamber of Commerce in London's award for best small businesses. He just found the love of his life, got engaged, and he's a brand new father of an 11-month year old boy. So just welcome to the live stream, Alfonso. Hey, Alfonso, how you doing?
Hey Jeff, thanks so much for having me today, man. Excited to be here.
Yeah, it's good, man. I'm glad to see you. It's been a while. I know it's been a couple of years since we, sort of chatted, but that's sort of what happens during COVID. But now that everything's back up and open, it's glad to chat and see you again, man.
Yeah, absolutely, and yeah, love what you're doing here and jumping on and covering a bunch of different topics and providing some value to your audience. So yeah, super excited to be here with you.
Perfect. So why don't you tell us a little bit about JAG Properties and how long you guys been around and sort of what your overall goal is to help people.
Yeah, absolutely. So yeah, JAAG Properties, we incorporated back in November of 2014. So it's coming up on 8 years of business, and about a year and a half or two before that, my business partner Adam and I have been in the rent to own space. So for almost 10 years, we've been helping people through our rent to home solution. We help clients. We call them tenant buyers because there's
Mhm.
tenants first, and then they buy their homes. So somebody that can't qualify for conventional financing, usually because of their income, their down payment, or their credit score. We work with them to rehabilitate one of those three or a combination of those three things so that they can purchase the home. We have an in house credit team and financial specialists that work with our clients so that they can overcome those obstacles. Qualify for the conventional financing and become homeowners. We also work with joint venture partners. They help us in purchasing the home and allow us to do what we do, manage the programs for our clients and for our joint venture partners. So,
Yeah, so it's a win-win for both the investor and potential buyers who might be sort of priced out of the market due to the various issues, right?
you got
Now,
it.
I know you quickly went over the things you guys do. Now, what? Let's just go into a little bit more of what the rent-to-own system is and sort of the whole process that people have to go through.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a pretty streamlined application process where whether you're a realtor or a mortgage broker, have a client that can't qualify, there's something that's stopping them from purchasing their home today or qualifying at the banks. So we'll collect all the similar documents that a mortgage broker, a bank would, income verification, job letters, tax returns, that type of stuff. Look at credit and basically underwrite them for lack of a better term to see what they would qualify for today. Once we've decided or determined what that approved number is, they get to go out and shop and choose the home that they want to live in. So we don't inventory any property. We don't say, you have to pick this street, this house, the red house or the blue house or anything like that. Once we've determined what our budget is for our tenant buyers, they actually get to go out and shop with the realtor to select the home that's going to best fit their needs, their family's life, their lifestyle, and they actually go out and choose the home. Once they've decided that, we're going to go ahead and purchase the home, whether it's ourselves through our joint venture partners, and then basically start the rent to own program. Put the parameters in place, like I said, whether it's claiming the right amount of income, increasing credit score, saving up the down payment, and help them throughout that program, which is typically 3 years. And
Okay.
our team will check in pretty much every 3 to 4 months with our clients, making sure that they're on track in terms of savings, in terms of claiming the income, saving up the down payment, and preparing them to qualify for their own mortgage by the end of the term. And then the happiest part or the best part of the rent to home is we sell that home back to them at the end of the program. They become proud homeowners. They qualify for their own first mortgage. And then at that point, they're officially the owners of the home.
Oh wow. So that yeah, it sounds great. I know a couple of our clients have gone through your program. Again, very very smooth. And I know you said the typical length is about 3 years. Uh, have they gone longer or shorter? I know you mentioned that you have flexible plans or flexible agreements.
Absolutely. So our programs are between anywhere between 2 to 4 years. It really is all dependent on the client situation, right? So if it is, improving credit score, maybe that might only take 2 or 3 years, right? Saving up the down payment, claiming the right amount of income. It is all dependent on our clients, but our programs are anywhere between 2 to 4 years. And in some cases, we've extended programs, say from 3 years to a fourth year, because we need an extra year of saving up or credit repair. So yeah, we definitely are flexible. And, after almost, 250 of these rent to home programs, every situation, every client is a little bit different. Even if they
Mhm.
are qualified for the same purchase price, every program is unique and different to the client.
Yeah. Now, when it comes to down payment on the house, do they need any down payment at all, or can it be 100% covered by your joint venture partners? How does that down payment work? I know you just mentioned that you help them save up for the down payment in the 3 years. So does that mean they don't need any money to just sort of start? They just need to qualify based on their on their income.
So to enter the program, there are two minimum criteria for all of our tenant buyers. One is income, like you just mentioned. So the minimum income for our program is 100,000 combined family income. And then the second piece, to answer your question, we call it an initial option consideration or initial credit, and they need a minimum of the 3% of today's purchase price. So if they're going to look at, let's say, a $500,000 home, they'll need at least 15,000 at the beginning of the program, so they do have some, interest, that they have some, quote unquote,
Yeah.
skin in the game at the beginning of the program, so that
Yep.
there is a minimum criteria, the income and the down payment at the beginning.
So it's about 3%, as opposed to like the typical five, right? That you can go.
Yeah, most banks, lenders, they're going to want 5%. If you're self-employed or a small business owner, banks, lenders are going to be looking at 10%. And if there's been some credit blips or bruised credit in the client's history, they're going to most likely need somewhere closer to 20%.
Mhm.
So with that initial starting at three at the beginning, 3%, we're working towards our client saving up the balance to get them to the five, the 10, or that 20, depending on their situation.
Yeah, so you work individually, and you have different programs that they can do to help boost their credit score in the shorter in the amount of time, like 3 to 5 years roughly, right? So you also mentioned that you guys don't hold inventories home, which is I think is an important point to know when thinking about these programs, because a lot of people wonder, where are these rent to own homes? Who are these people that are willing to do these things? And you mentioned that it doesn't matter what city you're in, what uh, where you are in the province. You can sort of go there, find a realtor, uh, start looking for the house that you want, and then once you find it, you guys then work with your joint venture partner, your joint venture partners in order to bring the deal together. That's correct.
Yeah, you absolutely got it. We think if you're gonna, choose your home, or if you're gonna want to live in a home with you and your family, you should choose it, right? Our clients, our tenant buyers, they should want to live in the areas that are close to their family, their schools, their work, whatever amenities that they want to be close by. And just like any other buyer, if you're gonna go choose your family home, that should be your choice, right? The type of style, whether it's that, a bungalow, a two-story, is it semi-detached, is it a condo? So again, we don't choose the home. We work with our tenant buyers, we work with our realtors. They go out and search and look for the property that's going to best fit their lifestyle, best fit their needs. And then yeah, we purchase the home once they've decided that it's the one for them, and it's obviously within the budget that we've allocated at the beginning of the process.
Okay, that all makes sense. Now on the flip side, as opposed to the buyers getting into the market, when they might not be able to, let's talk about the investors. Someone who might have
Sure.
that extra little bit of capital that they're looking to, invest or to help you guys in a joint venture in order to help these guys buy. What is rent to own a good investment? What's the typical returns for the investor?
Well, if you're asking me, obviously, I'm going to be biased, and I'm going to say absolutely. I think it's not only a good return on your investment. You're actually helping a family get into home ownership as well too. So you're actually making an impact on people's lives as well as making a pretty good return on your investments. So typically, like I said, every situation is a little bit different, but most of our joint venture partners are experiencing somewhere north of 18% per year on their investment. They're basically hands off, hassle free. We're taking care of everything from the clients to the property, making sure that they're on track, and in reporting to our joint venture partners several times throughout the year. The monthly cash flow, the selling back at the end of the home, we're helping facilitate that to make it as seamless and smooth as possible for all of our joint venture partners. So yeah, again, we've worked with over, I think it's close now to 120 or 125 individual joint venture partners that have helped our tenant buyers get into their homes. And the other part is it's really a safe and secure investment because you're helping people own their home. This is not just like a normal rental property where you have a tenant and they might stay for a year or two, or they, I don't know, leave the windows open in the middle of the winter, or don't take care of the property. These are future homeowners, so it's more
Mhm.
of a long-term living mindset than a temporary rental mindset. So the type of clients that we're working with are definitely, I would consider, premier versus a rental property.
Of course. Now, the question that sort of comes to my mind just from you just chatting about that. Now, in the rent to own process, what happens when it comes to repairs or something that needs to be done in terms of like the bigger investments, say a roof or furnace or windows, or what's the boundaries or what's the typical cost? Does it again fall on the landlord or the investor client to fix
Yeah,
those?
well, firstly, before we actually go ahead and purchase the home, like I said, our clients are going out there and searching themselves. Once they have identified that home, we're going to do a home inspection or have a home inspector, do an inspection on the property with the tenant buyers there, with the realtor there, so that they can get a good look at that home to see how old is the roof, how old is the furnace, what condition are the windows, plumbing, electrical, making sure that all the major systems of the home are in good working order. Obviously, you can't predict, like even a 2-year-old furnace can just go on you at any
Yeah.
point. So we first of all, we do our due diligence on any of the properties that we're moving forward with that we're going to purchase, as if, again, these clients are going to be owning the home. But if something does happen throughout the rent to home program, you'll say a furnace blows or a roof needs to be repaired or something happens and it's not covered under your normal building insurance, then the tenant buyers are going to be responsible for the general maintenance upkeep of the property as if it's their own home. And in
Okay.
most cases, what we've seen, our experience, our tenant buyers, they're not only just taking care of the general maintenance, they're actually improving the homes, right? Like finishing basements, redoing kitchens, bathrooms. Somebody introduced me to a she shed, right? So it's, I guess,
Yeah.
the female version of the man cave, right?
Yeah.
Like there's definitely a pride of ownership in these homes, and it's not only just about the general maintenance, it's actually improving these homes, making them their own,
Mhm.
through whether it's renovations or upkeep or adding value to the properties.
Yeah, so it's essentially again they're treating it like their own, and they're just doing the upgrades that they would like to do in the time that they do it. Now, uh, just see our when it comes down to costs and rent to own, what's the typical? Does it cost more to rent to own a home, or how like is it typical to normal rents, or like
Well,
how does that all play out?
yeah, again, it is all really dependent on each of the tenant buyer situation. Part of their monthly payment is going to be their monthly credit that's going to go towards their future down payment.
Mhm.
So depending on how much they need to have saved by the end of the program, their payments will be dependent on that. But typically, the tenant buyers are going to be paying the typical mortgage, their principal and interest, the
Mhm.
taxes, the insurance that we all have to pay when we're homeowners, and then on top of that is whatever additional savings that they need. So again, it is all dependent. You and I could be qualified for the same purchase price, but if you have more of an initial deposit at the beginning and I have less, then my payments will be slightly higher because I have more to save throughout the program, and vice versa.
Yeah.
Right, yours would be lower. But again, you could pull up any kind of mortgage calculator, look at the purchase price of that home, see what, a mortgage, whatever the rate is or current rates are, factor that as well as the taxes, the insurance, and then that monthly savings. So it's not just more because it's a rent to home. It is all dependent on the client situation, how much they need to have saved by the end of the program.
Of course. Now, I know I guess it varies per client. What is the typical kind of investment that when you're joint venture people or like partners have to come up with? Like again, I guess it's really dependent on purchase price. But what's something that's like a typical, like just to get into being a joint venture partner with you guys?
Yeah, typically in terms of the price ranges that we purchase, obviously it's a rental property, it's an income property. So our joint venture partners are going to need that 20% of the purchase price. So usually, good range is anywhere to $150,000 of capital, and then the qualification of the mortgage of the balance. So I like using 500,000 as an example. 100,000 is the 20%, the 400,000 mortgage. And the other benefit to our joint venture partners is that whatever initial deposit that the tenant buyer is actually putting at the beginning of the program, that's actually applied towards the down payment for our joint venture partner, and it actually goes into equity of the home. So it's not just like collected or put in our pocket, and it's because it is going to be returned back to our tenant buyer. So it actually goes into equity of the home and reduces the investment to the joint venture partner by, like, again, that minimum 3% that tenant buyer is providing.
Okay, so yeah, they typically have to come up with the other 17% if it was a 3%. But I know you guys sort of break it all down into a sheet and then send it off to
Yep.
your interested parties, and then whoever might be interested uh, would sort of reach out. Now, uh, what's your advice to people that are sort of curious about this whole process? I mean, let's dispel the myth of is rent to own a scam? What are some of the things you would recommend people look into or do before actually taking that leap to either buy through or to do the rent to own program and buy the property that they can't afford, or investors that are sort of sitting on the fence wondering if this is right for them?
Well, just like any large purchase, whether it's a vehicle, a vacation, something that you're purchasing in your life, and I think your home or house is going to be probably the biggest purchase that you'll make is do your due diligence, right? Go online, take a look at what makes a good rent to home program, what makes not so good rent to home program, the things that you'd want to be protected by. Of course, you can reach out to us and get in contact with us at info@jaagproperties.com. You can give us a call at 1-866-JAG now. You can check out the website as well too. We have lots of information on there. But again, do your due diligence, do your research. Don't just rely on what I'm saying or what Jeff is saying here today. Go out there, get the opinions of others. You're going to hear good, bad, and indifferent about rent to own, right? There's good programs out there, and then there's not so good programs out there. You have to protect yourself. You have to feel comfortable. And don't be scared. We love having those consultations. That's why we love jumping on these live conversations. We want to educate our clients so that they're making the best decision possible for them and their lives. It's got to be right for them. We're here, we're helping people. We want to make sure that we're putting them in the best position possible so that they can own their home with equity and really change the trajectory of their families with home ownership. So do your due diligence, get online, get in contact with us, ask lots of questions, reach out to the experts in the industry. So someone like yourself, Jeff, that we've worked with you and your clients. We're happy to send whether it's testimonials or referrals or actually talking both sides, whether it's actual joint venture partners that we've worked with, tenant buyers that have graduated through our program and now are homeowners. We have a long list of people that anybody can speak with, and of course they can reach out to us at any time as well.
Yeah, and I guess the benefit is, again, it's getting into the market now as opposed to the next couple of years when you're trying to do this all on your own. Here you sort of have the step by step, you have the support system behind you. The $500,000 house you're looking at now could be 600,000 next year. Or well, we don't know the way the market's going, but the whole thing is just to get in as soon as you can, as opposed to waiting and then maybe being priced out later and having that guidance from the right people who have your best interests in mind, right? So, all right, well, thanks for joining us today, Alfonso, and it was awesome to hear from you again. Good to see you. If you guys have any questions for Alfonso, I'll put down all of his information down in the comments below, so you can reach out to him, all of his social media profiles, so you guys can connect and follow each other. But again, thanks again, Alfonso, and appreciate everything you guys do, and getting people into their first homes. That's the dream, right?
Yeah, awesome. Thanks so much, Jeff. And yeah, pleasure talking to you. Yeah, any questions, feel free to reach out. Have
All
a great
right.
rest of your day.
Yeah, take care.